but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God. There has been a lot said in the last few days. This afternoon, Leslie and Michael Sr. will have to do something that is out of order. They will have to lay their son to rest. Order says that children bury their parents. Right? It is out of order, David Banner, for children to be buried by their parents. We should not sit here today and act like we're watching something that is in order. In all of our religious and spiritual celebration, let us not lose sight of the fact that this young man should be doing his second week in college. Religion ought to affirm what we are doing, not be an escapism from what is done. And some of us are so heavenly bound that we're no earthly good. Before you get to heaven, before you put on your long robe, before you walk down the streets, you got to deal with the streets in Ferguson and St. Louis. God is not going to judge you by your behavior in heaven. He's going to judge you by what you do on earth.
Come on now.
He will not judge you by what Moses did at the Red Sea. He will not judge you by what Joshua did at the Jordan. But he will say when Michael Brown, 18-year-old boy, laid out in the street, hour and a half for the detective came. Another hour or so before they came to remove his body. Family couldn't come through the ropes, dogs sniffing through. What did you do? What did I require of you? We sit like we have no requirements. Like it's somebody else. But all of us are required to respond to this. And all of us must solve this. I watched as it went back and forward. I got a call from the grandfather, Reverend Toome, from National Action Network's Fields office. Called me and said there's a man, Mr. McSplat, on the phone, said that his grandson was killed in Ferguson, Missouri. I said, where is Ferguson, Missouri? He said, right outside of St. Louis. And I said, well, Toome, let the office. He said, no. He said, you have your iPad with you? I said, yeah. He told me what to punch in. And when I saw Michael laying there, I thought about how many of us were just considered nothing. How we were just marginalized and ignored. Whatever the circumstance and investigation lead to have that boy laying there. Like nobody cared about him. Like he didn't have any loved ones. Like his life value didn't matter. And I said, plug his grandfather through. I said, I don't know what happened. But whatever we can do, I'll be there to do it. That night, violence started. Next night, violence. We were here Tuesday. And we went in front of that old courthouse with Big Mike and with the mother. And they had to break their mourning to ask folks to stop looting and rioting. Can you imagine their heart broken, their son taken, discarded and marginalized, and they have to stop mourning to get you to control your anger like you more angry than they are. Like you don't understand that Michael Brown does not want to be remembered for a riot. He wants to be remembered as the one that made America deal with how we gonna police in the United States. This is not about you. Not at all. Not at all.
It's about God and how the world is.
This is about justice.
This is about
fairness. And America is going to have to come to terms when there's something wrong. That we have money to get military equipment to police forces, but we don't have money for training and money for public education and money to train our children.
Preach.
America. How do you think we look when the world can see you can't come up with a police report, but you can find a video?
Come on now. Preach, Reverend Al.
How do you think we look when young people march non-violently, asking for the land of the free and the home of the brave to hear their cry? And you put snipers on the roof and pointed guns at them. How do we look? How do we look when people that support the officer, and they have a right to do that and an obligation if they feel that, but if they support him, they're supporters. But if we come to support the family, we're dividing the country. What does God require of us?
God is angry with this world.
In 3 weeks, we saw Marlon Pinnock, a woman in Los Angeles, laid out on the freeway, Congresswoman Maxine Waters. A California highway patrolman hit her 15 times times on video with no weapon in her hand, nothing, no threat to her. Right after that, a man. They said that he had Lucy cigarettes. And they put an illegal chokehold on him.
Tell it.
Man videoed it 11 times. He said, I couldn't breathe. And the man, the policeman, wouldn't let him go. Later that week, we see Michael laying on the ground. America, it's time to deal with policing.
Come on now.
We are not the haters, we're the healers.
And that does it for this edition of Andrew Mitchell Reports. Don't forget to tune in Hardball tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.